So, yeah, the problem is the solution. That's what I've come to figure out. And what you're against the most is what you need the most. Some people need to face up to their problems. If their problems is salt, they need to face why the salt is their problem. Maybe it's not their problem. Maybe it's what they need the most. Oh, when somebody says, well, if I say, well, if you're afraid of vaccines, then you need the vaccines the most. Well, respectfully, Jillian, I'm going to say I love your work. However, I'm not going to be vaccinated against my will if I choose not to. Okay, well, here's the thing. You realize that vaccines have a place and they're not anything really poisonous. It's based upon your predispositions. So if you like my work and you think my work is amazing, then you'll understand that vaccines aren't poison. And if you have to get an upgrade, just like me dealing with this coronavirus and getting a headache, I had to go through an upgrade. So just like a person who gets a vaccine, they have some kind of reaction because they're upgrading. As long as they're supporting their body correctly, they'll handle the upgrade. No, anyone that is anti-vax out there that really wants to keep with this anti-vax demonizing and looking for sacrificial lambs, like, oh, anyone that gets arrested for being a whistleblower, they have street credibility. It means that they know something that we don't and that the government's trying to hurt you. Holy crap. Who is it? Anyone that is looking to go and arrest somebody, wanting to get them arrested because of corruption. Well, they created that corruption. They created that situation for that person to be causing some kind of violation of laws. And so anytime someone looks for a sacrificial lamb, they don't own up to their part in it. Whenever you look for somebody to arrest or kill or shed blood or anyone that at this point we're seeing right now all these people that are like, oh yeah, the cabal, they're gonna arrest the cabal. No. Or the whole thing with the Judy Mikovits. Oh, she was arrested, which means she had something credible to say and something credible to contribute. No, she was arrested for proprietary information that she stole, and then she did negotiations where she gave back some of the material, and then the charges were dropped. And so, anyone that's looking for someone to arrest, anyone that is against any specific thing, whether it's salt or vaccines or GMO or toxins or anything like that, they need it the most, because what you're afraid of the most is what you have to face up to. See, the problem is the solution. Anyone that's a problem in your life, as soon as you face up to that problem and you actually become that solution, there is no problem anymore. Once you have figured out how to face up to your problems. So if your problem is that you can't understand salt, then maybe salt is actually saving your life and you're afraid of it because you're afraid to feel anything because you want to be drugged out and not feel anything, then maybe you need the salt the most. See, that's the thing. People who are afraid of vaccines, they're the ones that are the sickest. They're the ones that are not doing Jilly Juice, and the ones that are anti-vax doing Jilly Juice, not telling their friends about Jilly Juice, or if they are, it's very minimally, and they're so anti-vax, being anti-vax, and they don't know who the audience out there, they're the ones that are sacrificing everybody out there. That's not on the J Juice, because at least Jilly Juice is your insurance policy. At least Jilly Juice is your insurance policy. But I'm sorry, anyone that is Jilly Juice and anti-vax doesn't fucking get it. And I don't care who you are. If you are anti-vax and you are, and I'm going to be deleting some people off my Facebook. I already see it. Anyone that's anti-vax and on Jilly Juice and still wants to promote the anti-vax agenda, totally doesn't get it. They don't realize that these vaccines are actually upgrades. Because let me tell you, if you are strong in body and mind, you'll be able to handle the upgrade. It's not like it's the lethal injection on death row, but that's how you're treating it because you're dealing with people who have major predispositions that will be able to handle the environment no matter what. So, hey, I would love to, here's the thing. right now we are in a major psychological operation. The psychological operation is they want people to fear the vaccine so they don't get them. They want people to fear jelly juice so they don't do jelly juice. And so now they're a sitting duck doing holistic remedies or trying to fight for their freedom. You are free. You're not enslaved. However, we know how viruses work, and people are like, "Oh, you're holding me down in my house by not letting me free, not letting me go do anything free and do whatever, and no freedom of movement." And this virus mutates, and then guess what? You have all these people hanging out together, and the weakest people are going to fall from that mutation of the virus. That is that viral load. So no matter what, all of these problems are the solution to all of your problems. I'm serious, because you'll be the one to determine your path in life. Whatever you're afraid of most is what is going to be your solution. And either you'll live for your solution or you'll die from your solution. But no matter what, whatever you fear the most is going to be the solution. And so, yeah, I mean, it's like, this is like a no-win situation for people who are constantly afraid and looking for a problem. I'm telling you, you guys created this society. You've created this society, and now you want to go find sacrificial lambs. Anytime you look for a sacrificial lamb, you are absolving yourself of any responsibility of what your part in it is. And you are creating and part of the problem. So yeah, I'm not I'm not super popular, but I'm okay with that. Because let me tell you, all of these popular movements that are out there, that's the psychological operation you all belong to. You all are freaking, I don't want to say sheep because that sounds so cliche, but you are falling for the psychological operation, no matter what it is, whether it's a patriot movement, whether it's the anti-vax, whether it's the conspiracy movement, I don't care what it is. Every single problem is actually the solution that those out there, whoever it is, if we want to call it a conspiracy, whoever is planting all of these problems for all of you to glom onto and take, your platform, that's going to be your solution. Okay? And either you live through that solution or you'll die through that solution. But no matter what, that's going to be your solution. You're going to be ultimately the one that's going to determine the outcome of your problem. And that's the beauty of this whole pandemic. You alone are going to be responsible how you're going to handle the solutions that are out there. And there's a lot of solutions. A lot of solutions. So, you know what? Yeah. The people that are afraid of the vaccines the most, they need it the most because they need to know how their body is going to fare when there is an environment so full of viruses. Some of you are already experiencing how the coronavirus is affecting you. I felt that 6-day headache from that virus. And guess what? If I were to get a vaccine and with a strain of that coronavirus, I would probably have the same 6-day headache or maybe less. But you know what? I would rather get the full-on headache and get the major upgrade than have some attenuated version in a vaccine. I'd rather get the full-on virus. But some people can't handle the full-on virus. I can handle that upgrade because my body is strong enough. But somebody that is not as strong as me would have to get that vaccine to deal with that headache or that upgrade. Okay? So so those that are afraid of the vaccines, they need it the most. They need to know how well they'll be able to hold up in a very aggressive environment, such as 7 billion people mutating very communicable, crazy ass viruses. You need the vaccines for those of you that are afraid of them. Those of you that are on jelly juice and promoting anti-vax, you are looking for sacrificial lambs. And your audience and your friends and your family and your neighbors are your sacrificial lambs that are going to absolve you of any responsibility because you created the problem to begin with. You've had kids on major messed up bodies. You promote reproduction on messed up bodies. So you've created a reason why we have to have vaccines. You created the reason why we have to have pharmaceuticals. You alone created the reason why we have the government that we have that has to create all of these different parameters because we have imbalanced people in our society. If people stop dying and stop reproducing and all they did was live and they're so balanced, we wouldn't need a freaking government the way that we have it. But you created it. You alone created the reason for vaccines. You alone created the reason for pharmaceuticals. You, all of you that are looking for a sacrificial lamb, that are looking for someone to blame, that are looking for someone to get arrested or giving street cred to someone who's a whistleblower like Snowden or the other dude of his name, and oh, Judy Mikovits. Oh yeah, she has street cred. She was arrested for fucking stealing proprietary information, not for what people think that she was arrested for, but that's the spin. That's the spin. And so, I find it very, very ironic. I find it very ironic that those that say, oh yeah, I'm a jilly juicer, and you don't understand the whole virus and the vaccine. You fucking don't understand. And the ignorance, that's why who I know is really a real jill juicer, because they're not anti-vax. They understand the power of the vaccines and why they're so important for those that need help transition. Those of us on Jelly Juice can basically deal with the environment, and we can deal with the vaccines. We can deal with both. But those not on J Juice can't handle really the environment, and they can't really handle the vaccine because you haven't prepared them, because guess what? You're too fucking selfish and you're keeping Jelly Juice to yourself. And you're all anti-vax because you think you have something credible to say as you're looking for sacrificial lambs to basically die for your belief system. You're looking for your friends to die for your belief system. That's how I see the anti-vaxxers on Jelly Juice. They don't want to promote Jelly Juice, and if they do it very freaking sparingly, and they do it half-assed, and their real energy is to sacrifice their friends and family. So I don't care if you say you're a Jelly Juicer, and I won't get a vaccine, and I won't let anybody, put anything in me that's against my will. You're so full of shit. Do you know that you actually go get driver's license? You go to the doctor's office. You take your kids to the doctor's office, and guess what they do? They give them whatever it is that your kid has to get for them to be able to survive in this society. How many of you have taken your kids to the doctors and had somebody give them something? Don't be telling me that, I won't have anybody give me anything against my will. You're so full of it, because if it ever came down to it and your kid was in an emergency, you'd be taking them to the hospital, and they would have to get all the different shots and all the different medications to stabilize them, and you wouldn't deny them, because if you were to deny them medical care, you would be a bad mom. So many of you have kids that pretend to be on this whole freaking platform of how you will anybody, go against your body and your kid's body, and yet you give your kids to freaking modern medicine every freaking day of your life. You go get the remedies from people on freaking Facebook that you don't even know, and you apply your kids with kombucha and elderberry syrup. You're letting strangers basically experiment with your kids' health. That's the kind of hypocrisy I deal with, are those that say one thing and they do freaking another. So I don't care if you're a Jelly Juicer and, I'm anti-vax too, because you're full of shit. All of you that are anti-vax and a Jelly Juicer are the most hypocritical people on this freaking earth. And you're going to sacrifice your friends and family because you don't want to take responsibility. People who are Jelly Juicers and anti-vaxxers, I abhor the most, because you don't understand. You don't understand that a real Jelly Juicer can handle the viruses and handle the environment. But you also know your friends and family are not doing Jelly Juice because the fact that you're not giving them any kind of testimony, and you're allowing Dr. Phil go and slam me, and then you tell them don't get a vaccine either. And only take holistic remedies for all of your issues. Don't get any pharmaceuticals, okay? And so now what does your friends have left to do? Go on a fucking diet. So now your friends are going to be starving themselves from meat, from milk, from cheese, from processed food. And so now they're wasting away to nothing, eating an organic lifestyle, trying to be a vegan and vegetarian, and they're wasting away not getting any proper nutrition, no modern medicine, and now they're not going to get a vaccine either because you basically have scared them away from that. So guess what? You're looking for a sacrificial lamb. So guess who the people who are the Satanists in our society? Those that are on Jelly Juice and not promoting it, and anti-vax, and anti-GMO, and anti all of this shit, looking for a freaking sacrificial lamb. So, yeah, I'm telling you, it's freaking funny as hell to watch. The problem is the solution. Anyone that's anti-vax needs to get injected because they don't have what it takes to handle this environment, because it shows. The ignorance is so profound. The ignorance is so pervasive. And watching that video on Judy Mikovits is showing how much ignorance can be spun to where it pretends to be intellectual when the ignorance is just freaking pouring out of its veins. Oh my God. When my husband was watching that video today, I was about freaking flipped out, because I know that he's going to buy into that stuff. I love my husband, but he's easily influenced by these stupid brainwashed fuckheads out there that don't understand there's a place for everything. And I'm telling you, I'm deleting anyone that defends the anti-vaxxers. You're all gone. You're all gone. You're not doing Jilly Juice. You're looking to sacrifice your friends and family as well as all of your neighbors and society. And guess what they have left? They have nothing left after you get done with them. And so I'm so disappointed with my Jilly Juicers who are anti-vaxxers that speak out of both sides of their mouth, don't understand that, yes, you as a Jilly Juicer can handle a vaccine and you can handle this fucking virus. If I can handle this virus in my environment for the last 3 months since January, I can sure as hell handle as many vaccines as they give me regarding this virus. And if you think you can't, then you're not on the Jilly Juice long enough and you haven't been on the Jilly Juice and you're blowing smoke up my ass as well as everybody else's. And I know it and you fucking know it. So I'm over the hypocritical people that say, oh, I'm on Jilly Juice and I'm anti-vax too. Because you can't have it both ways, babies. You can't have it both ways. If I can handle this environment on the Jilly Juice, I can handle a fucking vaccine. And if you can't, it means you're not on the Jilly Juice. And if you are on the Jilly Juice and you're promoting anti-vax stuff, then you're lying out of your ass and you're looking for someone to sacrifice. And those are the people I abhor the most. The hypocritical, speak out of both sides of their mouth. I hate those kind of people. Bye. And I will use the word hate on that.